What's going on, you guys? As we know, we got a big fight coming up. The final fight, the trilogy fight between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Triple G Golovkin. It's finally going down. I believe it's 4 or 5 years overdue. And Triple G is 40 years old now, but it's going down nonetheless. This is Triple G's first fight. At 168 pounds. And one would imagine that Canelo Alvarez, this is his best weight, right? But Canelo Alvarez seems to have a lot of anger built up going into this fight with Golovkin. Of course, Canelo Alvarez is also coming off a loss to Dimitri Bivol. And while Golovkin seems to be taking more of a high road in the build-up of this fight, right? Canelo hates him, and, he says these and these and these and all that, right? Triple G said it's just business for him. But something interesting that Golovkin's brother, Max Golovkin, had to say about Canelo Alvarez. And if you didn't know, now you know that Canelo and Alvarez and Triple G sparred with each other years ago, back when Canelo Alvarez was still a young fighter. And yeah, Triple G says this: I think we trained in camp together a couple of times. It was a long time ago. He was a different fighter, and I was a different fighter. It was a different time. I was the more experienced one. We were sparring with one another. I was the more experienced one. I remember the sparring sessions at the time. He was a young fighter. He wasn't who he is now. It felt like we were going to have a big fight. It was my first time at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Basically, I felt confident. I was calm because I was sure of myself, and I was very committed to the fight. I felt very comfortable. He'd become more experienced. He'd gotten older and improved as a boxer. That was for sure. They didn't want to fight Golovkin. They dragged it out. They got embarrassed to the fight, shamed into it in the end, and then they dragged it out. Said Matthew Macklin about Team Canelo. Oh, wow. So, as we know, Canelo Alvarez didn't really want to fight Triple G around that time. If you look back, if you remember back during that time when HBO was still around, Triple G, Canelo Alvarez didn't want to fight Triple G. He actually got stripped of his belt. Did he vacate or did he get stripped? I can't remember. It was so long ago now. But he should have fought Triple G at that time. Back when Triple G, before the belt, he vacated the belt or got stripped or whatever, because, the WBC was trying to make him fight Triple G, and Canelo Alvarez wasn't having it, right? He says they waited for Golovkin to get a little bit older. And then this is what Max Golovkin has to say, Triple G's brother. I personally consider Canelo to be just an average boxer. He's just some average Mexican boxer that has been promoted to the top. But we know who he is, and we know what his team is. Wow. So he's saying that Canelo pretty much is a media creation. He said that Canelo Alvarez is just an average boxer that just got promoted right. He's just an average boxer that got put in the right fights. This is what Team Golovkin is saying about Canelo Alvarez. Very interesting indeed. And they're going to have to back this up this upcoming Saturday against Canelo Alvarez. Triple G is 40 years old now, and we haven't seen much of Triple G prior to the Ryota Murata fight. And in the first few rounds, he didn't necessarily look good, but he shook the rust off and ended up stopping Ryota Murata before the duration of the fight. I believe it was the 6th or 7th round or something like that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this trilogy fight plays out. We're going to see if Canelo Alvarez is truly on his decline. I think Canelo Alvarez could possibly be on a decline. Maybe it was the weight at 175 pounds. Maybe it's just not his optimal weight. Maybe he'll fight a lot better, seem a lot more explosive, have a lot more energy at 168 pounds. So, yeah, we're going to see how this fight plays out this weekend. What if Triple G beats Canelo Alvarez? Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.